Good evening, all. Just unfortunately need to expose more of the false preaching of our favorite polygamist over here, and why it is necessary that if you are going to follow the word, my suggestion is you should do your own reading. So, let's see what the ED written Perry the Preacher has to say.
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 4. Circumcise yourselves to the Lord and take away the foreskins of your heart, you men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury come forth like fire and burn that none can quench it because of the evil of your doings. The evil of your doings. There's another verse in Isaiah that says, put away the evil of your doings, right? Put away the evil of your doings. Not put away the doings, put away the evil of it. There is no sin. It's all about trusting God. It's all about trusting that he fulfilled his own law. That it's all about believing in Jesus, man. Everything is believing in Jesus. Jesus was a Jew. Jesus was the Messiah. Jesus got nailed to the cross. Jesus was dead for 3 days. Jesus got up from the dead after 3 days and then ascended. And
Can somebody please explain to me what the crucifixion would have to do with this particular verse? I mean, I'm serious. I really don't understand what that has to do with it. I'm surprised that Perry didn't start talking about that he enjoys having a grilled cheese, soup, grilled cheese lunch with the tomato soup. Makes absolutely, there's nothing relevant to it.
it's never forgot him because that's what he did. That's why it's never forgotten him. He's here, like fucking in everything. Circumcise yourselves to the Lord and take away the foreskins of your heart. Now, what's unique about this verse and where I want to go with this, Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 4, we're going to tie it to two things. One is going to be Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 16. So God is literally...
Just to let everybody know that's hearing, no, it is not tied to Deuteronomy 10, verses 16. It would be tied to Genesis, the book of Genesis, chapter 17, 10 through 14. This is the kind of satanic crap that this guy preaches. He is going to manipulate the word to try to drag certain unfortunate souls down to hell with him. If there is a hell, which, as all of you know, I'm not a believer in. But let's get back to what the ED1 has to say.
Been telling these people since the beginning to circumcise their hearts. Not their dicks, their hearts.
Isn't it something that the book of Genesis comes before the book of Deuteronomy? Again, more proof of satanic crap.
That being circumcised in the dick is just supposed to be a token of the circumcision of the heart. That's all it's supposed to be.
My suggestion to everybody that is watching this, please do your own reading and just see what kind of bullshit artist this retard is.
But if your heart's not circumcised, then neither is your dick. Truth. You might be missing the foreskin, but you're not circumcised. So Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 16 to Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 4, circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart and be no more stiff-necked. He warned them even in Deuteronomy. And I want you to pay attention to this because you...
Also, another little footnote, if you do read it in the original Hebrew, it's not as clear-cut as the translators have put it out here to be. This is what happens when somebody ignorant like Perry decides that he's going to start, explaining things like he's such an expert. He's not. And seriously, people, you have been warned. You do your own reading. I'm not going to read Genesis chapter 17, verses 10 through 14. You could open up your own book, or you could actually look it up in a search. Everybody has the internet over here. Just understand that this satanic piece of crap is dragging you down a very dark hole.
You got Deuteronomy, you got Jeremiah, and we're going to go to Romans real quick. So Deuteronomy 10:16, I'm going to show you how the entire Bible goes together perfect. Deuteronomy 10:16 says, circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked. Circumcision of the heart is to be reborn, is to be perfect, is to trust in the covenant that he made with Abraham, right? Is to trust in that promise. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked. Now we see here Romans.
Funny, he needs to use a search
Chapter
engine because he
2.
doesn't know the Bible by heart. Quite interesting, observation.
Verse 28,
And of
29.
course, and he,
This is
just another footnote. Sort of interesting that he's using Paul's letters, and of course the one contradiction, Romans 2:29 versus Genesis 17. 10 through 14. This is stuff that I brought up to him in the past, but as usual, he's only interested in reading what he wants to read. He cherry picks verses, and this is your proof. He's a cherry picking piece of crap, and you have been warned.
even in Jeremiah, this is a home run. Verse 28 says, for he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh. Just because your dick is circumcised doesn't make you a Jew.
No,
Circumcised
that
the
part
eighth
is
day,
true.
good for you.
You don't
Get all
need
your
to.
certificates,
That's
good
true.
for you.
Non-Jews,
Get all the shit, good for you.
non-Jews
Still
don't
sin.
need to. That's
You're
true.
not a Jew. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh. But he is a Jew. So you got two kinds of Jews here. The flesh Jew, which is not a Jew. But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly. And circumcision is that of the heart, in the spirit and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of God. But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in the spirit and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of God.
You notice how he continually repeats the same things over and over again to try to drill it into the head of people that don't know any better. This is all, I'm telling you, this is the way con artists work. This is the way a con artist works. He will continually repeat the same stuff over and over again. What he's saying over here is absolutely ridiculous. It's satanic. But look at that face. God, look at that face. Man, not even a mother could love that. It's amazing. You would really need to go to a trailer park to meet somebody of this stature, huh?
You see two kinds of Jews here, which is what I was talking about a few minutes ago. There's two kinds of Jews. There's the kinds in the flesh and there's the kinds in the heart. The kinds in the heart are the ones that cannot sin. They're the ones that trust in Jesus. They're the ones that follow the Lamb, whithersoever he goeth. They're the 144,000. Even Abraham was one of those. That's the faith of Abraham. Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 4. Circumcise. Hang on.
A little bit of trouble
Jeremiah
there, Carter, with the
chapter 4.
computer.
Well, let's
Come
do
on.
it.
There you go. Come
If
on.
thou wilt
You
return,
can
O
do
Israel,
it.
saith the Lord, return
You
unto
can
me.
do it.
If thou wilt put away thine abominations out of my
you
sight,
can do it.
then shalt thou not remove. And thou shalt swear, the Lord liveth in truth and judgment and in righteousness. And the nations shall bless themselves in him, and in him shall they glory. For thus saith the Lord to the men of Judah and Jerusalem, break up your fallow ground and sow not among thorns. Verse 4, circumcise yourselves to the Lord and take away what? The foreskin of your heart. Why?
Last I checked,
Because
hearts
unless
don't
you
have
do,
foreskins.
you're not a real Jew. For he
Have
is
another
not a Jew, which is
cigarette,
one
Carter.
outwardly, neither is that circumcision which is outward in the flesh. This goes all the way back to Deuteronomy.
Genesis is
back.
before Deuteronomy.
Circumcise
there.
yourselves to the Lord and take away the foreskin of your heart, you men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury come forth like fire and burn that none can quench it because of the evil of your doings. Keep sinning. Sin, repent, repeat. Sin, repent, repeat.
And here we go again. One big circle,
Declare
repeating
you
the
in
same
Judah
crap.
and publish it in Jerusalem and say, blow ye the trumpet in the land.
Yeah, you do a lot of
Cry,
blowing, don't you?
gather
Carter?
together and say, assemble yourselves. Let us go into the defense cities. Set up the standard towards Zion. Retire.
Just a side note. I would suggest you read the book of Jeremiah and you figure out, or you just read it and understand what story and what exactly is going on here. What Perry's preaching has absolutely nothing to do with the story of Jeremiah. Zero.
Stay not, for I will bring evil from the north and a great destruction. the lion is come from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. Notice how referring to the men of Judah and Jerusalem, right? You men of Judah and Jerusalem, talking about they're about to be destroyed. What's he call them? He calls the men of Judah and Jerusalem, calls them Gentiles. The lion has come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way.
That's not what it says.
He's gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy cities shall be laid waste without inhabitant.
Basic reading comprehension also
For this
proves he
gird
doesn't
you
know
with
what he's talking
sackcloth,
about.
lament and howl, for the fierce anger of the Lord is not turned back from us. And it shall come to pass at that day, saith the Lord, that the heart of the king shall perish.
Well, you got a general idea. You got a general idea of what he's saying. And as I said, again, people, do your own reading. Don't follow a con artist, bullshit artist like this guy. I mean, this is ridiculous. He is giving you what he wants to give you. He's not giving you the word. Okay? And he's going to lead you down a really bad path. Anyway, it is time. Enjoy all. Ta-ta.